What is up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with some Destiny 2 news updates. And in the second week of Beyond Light, more things are breaking, so let's get the latest from Bungie on bust lost sectors, pinnacle drops and bounty fixes. But they also mention the raid, concerning some speculation about delays due to glitches and things like that. So we'll talk about all of that stuff, and we've got a new hotfix coming up this week. Then moving on, we're going to speak about the Eclipsed zone on Europa. That's a new thing happening on the destination this week. We've also got new collectibles and, of course, new season content. And we're going to speak a bit about upcoming exotics. A lot of folks are speculating, and we get some interesting dates from the Eververse schedule. Plus, there are a couple of other mentions in this video. So guys, if you do enjoy this one, feel free to get subscribed so I can keep you up to date with Destiny. But now, let's get into it. And so before we talk about quests and secrets for the week, let's round up some of the Bungie updates. And Bungie Help said, due to an issue, we have disabled the Legend and Master tier Valle's Labyrinth Lost Sector, and this Lost Sector will be unavailable at these tiers until a fix has been implemented. And this was the Lost Sector on the north of the Cosmodrome. DMG added that exotic gauntlets will be available through an alternate Legend and Master Lost Sector in a few days. They're on rotation, so you won't go too long without them. But basically it turns out this particular Lost Sector is both very easy and slightly cheesable, and Bungie didn't like that, so unfortunately it has been disabled, and I'm sure a few of us will miss out on some slightly easier exotics this week. But DMG also said some Pinnacle reward sources not dropping Pinnacle powered drops. The team is actively investigating, and once we have more info, we'll let you know. So some of the Pinnacle sources aren't actually dropping as Pinnacles in the way that they should be. And in terms of XP farming, of course a few days ago, players were grinding those repeatable moon bounties, but Bungie Help said that they've resolved this, and they're no longer giving more XP than intended. So those bounties are once again available to be picked up and completed. Now, also on the subject of bugs and glitches, there have been quite a few things that have led players to speculate we could see some kind of delay for the launch of the Deepstone Crypt raid this weekend. And without going too much into what all of those different concerns are, DMG did say, at this time, there are no plans to delay the raid. The team is investigating alternate fixes to the pesky stasis bug which will prevent harm to the world's first race. We'll have updates later on in the week on what to expect. And so very clearly the last thing that anyone wants to happen is a delay for the raid. And interestingly enough, Bungie Help did say that there's going to be some background maintenance today, but this is to prepare for a hotfix releasing on November 19th. So at some point tomorrow, a hotfix will be launching in the game, potentially that could have fixes, or indeed restrictions, whatever it is that Bungie plan to do. However, there are a series of other known issues that they could be tackling inside of a hotfix like this. So we'll simply have to wait and see, guys, but those are the kind of initial updates from Bungie at the moment. And now moving to Europa. We were, of course, expecting a fairly large content reset for the Europa stuff this week, although the focus has mostly been put onto the Season of the Hunt content. However, one interesting thing is that Eclipsed Zone triumphs appear to be active on Europa. And so what does this mean? Well, folks originally thought that this would somehow be linked to the upcoming raid, and a lot of people speculate that it's something that's happening early. So spoiler alert, although I'm not sure how much it really gives away, and this could be happening as a kind of precursor to the raid, but essentially right now, when you look up at Jupiter, you see a load of debris, or what look like missiles almost falling toward Europa. And the direction that they're falling seem to dictate where the Eclipse Zone is going to be on a given week. So from Variks this week, you can see that the debris is falling toward the north at Eventide Ruins, and when you're at the ruins, you can't really see much of the sky because it's basically a giant cave, but when in this area, triumphs for making kills in the Eclipse Zone appear to be active. So we can see one of them here requires, I believe, 1,000 kills with stasis subclasses equipped in the Eclipse Zone. And when completed, it will award this emblem. So if you want to start early on those triumphs, you can get that done now. But to further understand what the Eclipse Zone is, the Stranger does have an upcoming quest. And it says, subdue the plans of House of Salvation by thinning their ranks and completing public events and patrols in the current Eclipsed Zone. And there's a line from the Exo Stranger, I believe House Salvation to be using whatever is at their disposal to secure and obtain the debris falling from the sky, find them where the debris reigns, and stop them. And so this both confirms that Eclipsed Zone is going to change on a weekly basis. Could be at a different cadence, but weekly seems most likely. And then additionally, the quote confirms that we can see the debris kind of falling in the direction of the current Eclipse Zone for the week. So that kind of makes a bit of sense from a lore perspective. However, how this links to the raid exactly is something that we'll have to wait and understand over the weekend. Also in the triumphs, you may notice these small collectible items that can be unlocked and then taken to the Stranger's Hut in the Beyond to put on display. So keep your eye out for some of those as you gain access to them in the Triumph section. But also this week, it appears we have a new penguin collectible toy on Europa. So in the Well of Infinitude, which is the area where the Glassway strike takes place. I'll timestamp a location clip at the end of the video, but you can find it in this area and then return a second toy penguin to the room near Varix. And the lore reads that these were a gift from Brayscience to the Children of Eventide colony long ago. You do unlock some interesting lore via these. Kinda sad, and kinda creepy in a way as well. Now, there has been a lot of speculation about upcoming exotic quests this season, and something that we knew could potentially start this week was a hunt for the Cloud Strike exotic sniper, but unfortunately Varix doesn't have any additional upgrades for us to progress at the moment, and we need him to offer us new upgrades so that we can access elect difficulty hunts. So for now, we're going to have to wait and see when things progress, but another quest we have coming up is the one for the Lament exotic, and this is the one which recently folks have discussed will need us to complete exo challenges, discover secret areas on Europa, and more. I hadn't noticed this, but if you head to todayindestiny.com, it does show what Bungie currently have listed for the upcoming Eververse schedule, and the ornament at the moment is listed as a silver purchase starting on December 1st. So if that schedule is correct, which of course things can change, then either way it would indicate that the latest point we'll start to get access to that would be the 1st of December. But again, that isn't confirmed by Bungie, it's just what the schedule is currently projecting. Something to bear in mind, but also Hawkmoon is another weapon a lot of folks are asking about, and from the database it appears that Aldrin does have hidden steps in his inventory, and there are quite a few different steps to acquire the weapon, but it doesn't look like the weapon's currently in the API, so it's possible that an update is needed before Hawkmoon can drop. And when looking at the Eververse schedule again, more classified ornaments are listed to sell in January, so some folks think that potentially we could have to wait quite a while before we acquire Hawkmoon. But again, that one's a bit more of a guessing game, and the thing we can say with a bit more certainty is that it doesn't appear like Hawkmoon is going to drop in the immediate future, as in the next week or so, but we'll have to wait and see. We can currently acquire the Leviathan's Breath Catalyst though. I mentioned this in my guide for the Season of the Hunt content yesterday. And at the moment it is a random drop when you kill powerful enemies with Leviathan's Breath. And then once you have the Catalyst item, you can upgrade it and get more progression via Wrath Hunts. So there are prey mods that allow you to get accelerated progress. But if you want a guide on how to get the Catalyst and get it upgraded quickly, my friend Jarv has a video which I will link in the description box below. Otherwise for this week, with that Beyond Light content, as I mentioned in the reset video, we do get new fragment quests this week, but no new quest for an aspect, and we know that there is going to be a second one to unlock, so on top of the fact that more Varix upgrades are coming shortly, there are going to be additional stranger quests in the near future, possibly next week once things have developed in the raid. So give us your thoughts about that. I know there is a lot of conversation about the amount of loot and content in this expansion so far, as well as the fact that, obviously, Bungie schedule a lot of the content to roll out over time. Personally, I'm having fun with it at the moment, just kind of taking things in. I want to see what the raid experience is going to be like and things like that as well. But as always, give us any of your thoughts about the DLC or seasonal content below. Right here though, I've got to give a massive shout out to Numskull, who sent me the new Beyond Light statues of both the Stranger and the Drifter. So these are really, really cool, high detailed statues of both of those characters. You can check these out on the Numskull site, which I will link in the description below. They've also got the Destiny tubs, which are kind of Destiny character themed ducks. Pretty interesting stuff. Once again, massive thanks to Numskull for sending these over, and you can check out their stuff in the description. Here though, we'll run the gameplay for the location run for the toy collectible penguin this week. Not too difficult to find, so if you want to collect it, you can follow the guide right here or save this video for later. But otherwise guys, for now, I appreciate you tuning in. If you have enjoyed this one, a rating really does help us out on the channel, but also feel free to turn on notifications if you're already subscribed, or indeed hit that subscribe button if you're new here, and I'll keep you posted with the world of Destiny 2. But otherwise for now, I hope you all have an awesome day.